Tell me again why it is that you don't like black women?
A man's life was taken, but people don't want to fight for his justice. Let's figure out why.
Breaking news. Hannah Grace Cobb has officially been arrested in connection with the death of the father of her 2 children and boyfriend of 5 years, 30-year-old Telvin Jenkins. Telvin was shot and killed on Sunday morning around 5:45 a.m., where he and Hannah had just gotten home from a night out of clubbing and drinking. For whatever reason, when they got home, Hannah Grace began handling a gun. People claim that she was cleaning her gun and it led to an accidental discharge of the weapon, which ultimately fired into Telvin's chest and killed him. For the past 48 hours since Telvin died, there has been an outcry on social media for Hannah Grace Cobb to be arrested. The Burke County Sheriff's Office was just doing a Facebook Live press conference. I'm happy to show you that there has been an arrest made. I caught a little bit of the press conference where they said an arrangement was made to bring Hannah in. She was booked. She has not been bonded out. She is being charged with a felony involuntary manslaughter.
Telvin Osborne was shot and unalived by his white girlfriend, making him only the latest victim of Becky brutality. Now, before we get our BLM hashtags ready, I want you to take a look at who Telvin was while he was here with us. I'd F a dog before I F a black B word. It gotta be a white dog though, in case he wasn't clear enough. White girls are greater than times 10 black girls. Team white girls. Yeah, needless to say, I don't think Buddy's going on any t-shirts. Maybe his mother-in-law will embroider his name on a pair of corduroys. Make no mistake, Telvin is not the first victim of Becky brutality, nor will he be the last. Not too long ago, we were talking about a very similar situation with a young black man named Christian Abumsali. He himself was a victim of Becky brutality after tweeting very similar degradations towards black women, while simultaneously praising white women. And I know that every time a black person gets unalived by a white person, we should care. Every time anyone gets unalived by anyone, we should care. But these not the ones. These type of dudes contribute as much to the black community as they do their own households. Not a thing.
Telvin Osborne's family coming online and doubling down on his negative rhetoric about black women is absolutely diabolical. So one of his family members took to their social media page and said, "This is why I've been staying off of here. Y'all sorry summer bleep. Got so much to say. Damn right my brother ain't want no begging ass black bleep. Just like y'all bleep. Barely want the pro broke ass bleep you laying next to." In addition to that, his brother or another family member took to his social media page and made this video.
I say it again. Damn right my cousin said he a white dog before he one of you black miserable. That was Telvin. Had your duckers in a row, he probably would with you. Ain't about time you drumify. Look, this is exactly what he was talking about. This better yet. Y'all showed the prime example why he said he'll do what he did.
Now, on one end, I'm thinking about the mentality of them. So they may feel like it is weak to concede, to acknowledge that the things that he was saying was inappropriate, it was wrong. And instead of them apologizing to the community, right, apologizing to black women and just saying, hey, you know, his views don't reflect that of the family. He's lost his life. I want to send my condolences or my apologies, right, for the things that he said. But we really need you guys right now to get justice for him. Do it for me. I'm a black woman. I'm his mother. I'm his sister. Instead of doing that, this is what they're doing. And again, maybe because they don't want to seem weak. And again, this wouldn't make them weak. But I'm just thinking of somebody with a mentality like them. They want to double down by trying to prove like, we don't care what y'all saying. We don't care. Yeah, he said, woo. Not understanding that that makes you guys look even worse. You're adding more fuel to the fire.
Now that we are all caught up, it is understandable why black women and the black community do not want to go above and beyond to fight for this man. Because based on his tweets, he would actually be offended to have women that he despises actively helping him.
Why is it so hard for y'all to not bash black women while liking white women? Liking white women is perfectly fine, do you. But why do y'all always have to bash black women to do it? I don't understand. When they said that boy was his white wife unalived him, I was like, I'm gonna wait for the tweets. Because I knew they were coming. We all knew they were coming. We knew they was gonna find them. Because it's always that. It's always you all have to hate on black women to line yourself up with white women. I don't get it. Like, just like white women, love your white wife, love your white girlfriend, love your white baby mama, love whoever you want to. Just don't bash black women in the process. It's very simple. And now y'all want us to fight for justice for that because he was unaligned by that white woman and she's using her white privilege and her proximity to law enforcement being her father? That sounds like a you problem. Talking about something you'd rather do a white dog. Oh my God. And like, we supposed to be so sad and upset and want justice for you. Oh, the black man that hate us. Oh. I'm so sorry. Rest in preferences.
Is it a coincidence that on the 8th anniversary of the film Get Out, there are media rounds being made about a black man who was unalived by his white girlfriend? Now, this isn't a new story. We've heard about Tobe Abumsele, the Nigerian native who was unalived by his girlfriend and OnlyFans model. And also, we remember that all the charges were dropped against her. Do we remember that? Look at this picture right here. She's smiling because she got away with it. And that's the same way that this lady is about to get away with this. The saying in my home country goes, as you make your bed, so shall you lie on it. Exhibit A and Exhibit B, Tobe Abumsele and Telbo Rackings. Oh my God, that name. This is what happens when you are vocally hateful about black women. This is the learning curve, unfortunately so. Saying very disgusting things about black women, being very derogatory towards them, and then running to find solace in the hands of the first white woman that gives them attention. I will never forget that in the case of young Sade, who was unalived, yes, a white man, so many black men were celebrating and saying, this is good, like you guys need to stay within and only date us. No. Truth be told, we know how to pick them more than you guys do. And you see the difference between young Sade's story and this story? This is somebody who was openly, and these are two people that were openly being hateful towards black women, only to get unalived by the very thing that they swore to die by. You can read Telbo's tweets if you please. They're going to be on the screen, as well as Tobe Abumsele's tweets at that time. If your sole reason for trying to date a woman of another race, fetishize them, and also on women of your own race is because of your own self-hatred, then I'm sorry, it's always going to end in tears.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you see what's going on with the whole Telvin Osborne thing.
Now, I told y'all a few days ago that I'm not going to talk about this no more. But this is the last day of Black History Month. And I just want to address how I told y'all there's a direct correlation to the men who was on this app laughing at Kamala Harris supporters, talking about Trump, talking about Kamala's not this, Kamala's not that. And the same dudes make videos over and over and over again on this app talking about women ain't this, black women ain't this, black women ain't that. I need y'all to wake up. And then Dana Dane came in my comments defending that man tooth and nail like he defend black women. He don't. Dana Dane came in my comments mad talking about, I know people in real life. I know people in real life myself. I told you, I work with black dudes. I see how they talk about black women behind closed doors when they date white women. I told y'all that it's a trend. They always got something to say. And that dude, Telvin Osborne, went out there and talked about I date a white dog before I ever date a black woman. This is how they talk about y'all behind closed doors. I seen countless videos on this app of divorced white women who used to be married to people of color. And I'm talking about people of color like black people, Asian people, Hispanic people. And they always talk about how these guys married white and they talk about their own race of women behind closed doors. And that's the reason these white women divorced them. And it's the same energy. So y'all was saying I was pandering and I'm pandering for black women and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something about this app. It's easier to get followers and reactions and money on this app by pandering to red pill content and MAGA content than it is to black women. You actually take a hit on your money when you actually defend black women, because you had people in my comments in that last video calling me corny. And then they start calling me gay because I was defending black women. I got an old head that told me, he said, man, maybe you should just go to Colombia because these American black women ain't it. He told me before I met my wife, his white wife, he said, before I met my wife, I was just going to get a mail order bride. I'm serious, man. I'm serious, man. I couldn't deal with it no more. These the type of black dudes that y'all be defending. And I keep on calling it out. And y'all keep on acting like I'm tripping. Y'all keep on acting like I'm tripping. And then y'all say, well, black women too aggressive. Black women too violent. It's the same thing It's the same thing. Y'all see how you're not supposed to get into gender wars? Because that white woman went and off that man. Just like these white men also be abusive. They also be offing black women. They also be offing their own women. They also be, I'm not even going to say it. You can't even say certain things on this app. But y'all don't want to deal with black people's problems as an intertwined issue within ourselves. Y'all want to run over to a snow bunny who granddaddy would have turned you into strange fruit if he ain't have dementia right now. I want y'all to wake up, Slim.
Once upon a time, there were two black men. One named Telvin, the other one named Christian, both known for praising their snow queens while putting down black women in the process. Both slain by said snow queens, one with a bullet, the other with a knife. And once again, social media is split as to how to respond. Rest in peace, or you brought this on yourself. Now look, I don't have a problem with black men dating white women. I really don't. It's 2025, love is love, and as far as I'm concerned, swirl it up. What I will never understand, though, is why some black men feel the need to put down the black woman in the process. When in fact, did you not come from a black woman? In the eternal words of Tupac Shakur, got your name from a woman and your game from a woman. So why do we take from our women? Probably some internalized self-hate that we don't have time to unpack today, church. But back to our story. One claims that it was an accident. The other claims that it was self-defense. Now, are they telling the truth? Likely not. And it almost seems like a poetic tragedy when the thing that you prize above all others ends up doing you in the end. When they realize that with some tears, a concocted story, and a prejudicial legal system, they could probably get rid of you and get away with it.
So a black man told the world that he would rather have sex with a dog before he had sex with a black woman, and the dog also had to be white. And then his nice, soft, white wife unalived him. And then his family members are now mad at black women for not throwing a tantrum about his white wife unaliving him. But were y'all mad at him when he put out those disgusting tweets constantly bashing and trashing black women? Why are you mad at us? He didn't even like us. In fact, he hated us. You know, that reminds me, story time. So story time, a couple years ago, I was stationed somewhere, and one of the other guys I worked with, he was black, and he would constantly tell me that he don't date black girls. And I was just like, okay. And like, he'd be like, yeah, because black girls are so ghetto, and black girls are this, and black girls, they're loud, and just a whole bunch of stuff. And I just said, okay, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to date you, so I don't care. So I'm just like, okay. At some point, he gets a girlfriend. She was white. And their relationship becomes so toxic that it gets to the point where they're no longer allowed to be around each other. He has to move out of his apartment. Mind you, she doesn't even pay rent in this apartment. He ended up having to move out and live somewhere else for the time being, because they gave her like 30 days to move out or whatever. Mind you, she's not paying rent, so he's paying rent on an apartment that she is now living in. And then one day they had to exchange stuff, right? And the person that was on duty, me, has to go observe to make sure that it doesn't get violent and ghetto. So the closest place to where we worked that was like, public, because it had to be like a public setting, was Walmart. And I'm sitting in my vehicle. He pulls up in his vehicle. And then she pulls up next to his car. So I'm in my vehicle, like observing, trying to make sure, you know, nothing happens. So all they have to do is exchange stuff. Next thing you know, they're hooping and hollering and screaming, and he's trying to pull off, and she's on the door, swinging on the door, like trying to rip his door off like she's Hulk. Okay? And like, it's getting so loud and ghetto and ratchet in the Walmart parking lot, the cops get called. The cops get called. I've never had the cops get called on me in a Walmart parking lot for arguing with my boyfriend. Oh, and did I mention she had 2 baby daddies? So we get to work, and I said, tell me again why it is that you don't like black women.
This is a message to the black community. Y'all better not be riding with Telvin Osborne. Now, we all heard 25-year-old Hannah Cobb was just arrested for involuntary manslaughter after allegedly shooting Telvin. But when I tell y'all what he said on social media about black women, y'all ain't gonna want to back this man up. This man was so disrespectful to the black community, so monstrous and atrocious to our black women. When I tell y'all what this man said he would rather have relations with a white dog than a beautiful melanated woman. And when he said that, he threw me off. I had to read the 3, 4, 5 times because I'm like, hold up. This is the man that was shot by Becky that we supposed to be backing and protecting. Rest in peace to Telvin. All lives matter. They really do. But when you sit up here and you throw stones at our community in order to fit in with theirs, and then some tragic shit like this happen, you gonna have to take your lick. I ain't lying. We not coming to support you at all. At all. And this shit really mind-blowing, because it's like, I can't believe this man really said this about beautiful black queens. This man said, with that post, you signed your death certificate. I ain't lying. So I ain't supporting him. And you know I support my people, but I ain't supporting this.
Oh, and as unfortunate as the Telvin Osborne situation is, the reason we can't get our knees to work to take a stand is because even if you didn't know Telvin Osborne before this situation, the internet won't let you live down the disrespect. The internet's gonna expose exactly who you was when you stepped on the platform from day one. And every single day that man dedicated to putting us black women down, and his family screaming justice. And unfortunately, the 92% will never be able to receive justice. Not even an apology. The fact you came from a black woman, and that same white dog that you chose to have intercourses with over having relationships with black women, again, the situation is very unfortunate. But to take every breathing day of life to diminish your own kind, oh, brother. So sorry.
To that man who said he would rather commit ungodly acts to a dog, mind you, a white dog. Now that he is taking his eternal rest, you know, the only thing I gotta say is, what is y'all having for dinner? Because I was thinking about a little piece of little baked chicken. You know, I took my chicken out. It should be thawed by now. I don't know what kind of sauce I want to have. Back to that man who done went on to glory. He is in eternal rest. We can only hope that he is in a better place. May he rest well in his preference. But to have a digital footprint of you saying that you would rather commit ungodly acts on a dog, keep in mind, do not forget that the dog has to be white before you engage with a black woman is quite insane. But anyways, y'all, what we eating for dinner? Like I said, I took my chicken out. I think I'm gonna do, y'all think I should do brown rice or white rice?
May this man rest in peace, but I'm gonna talk about what's been going on down my timeline. So Telvin, or Telbo Rackins as he went by, was shot and unalived by his girlfriend on February 23rd. Now, the family is all over social media like, we need justice, wanting the black community to rally around and support. However, the problem is, one thing the internet is never going to let you do is forget who you really are and forget the shit you say on the internet. Because this man made his whole identity about dating white girls. Like Twitter page, Team White Girls, all of that, every day. So the internet Because they messy and they like to let you know who you are a lot of the times, or who at least you put on the show to be, right? Now, y'all expect the black community and black women to support this man after the that, like, I don't even want to go into detail about the shit he was tweeting because it's ridiculous. And it's like the family like, oh, y'all in the comments being negative, yada, yada, yada. Nobody's being negative. They just letting you know that we ain't here for it. It's crazy because this is not the first instance of this that we've saw. Because remember, the white girl stabbed that African boy. The OnlyFans girl stabbed that African boy, her boyfriend. And his family wanted us to rally too because she was out at the bar the next night with a daddy. Same thing happened with him. He disgraced black women all down the timeline. And the internet didn't let them forget who the f*** was. Now let's be very clear, because they do that. And it puzzles me because black men who try to disparage and disgrace black women on the internet especially have black moms, sisters, cousins, grandmas, aunties. Like, the list could go on and on. So you seeing all of that, so is that what you really think about your Obama? And I'm going to go on record and say this, and I'm going to don't like it. We on Team D rally for black women, and anybody who disrespects black women, may they rest where they lay, okay? Because when he was praising white women, ain't nobody step in and say, sir, you wrong. None of the family, nothing. Nobody was commenting. But not a one of them took him to glory. Y'all confused as to why. We like, The black community has to stop being these backup plans for those who put those others on a pedestal while trying to demean or belittle us. That man told us exactly where he stood in life. And in death, we are respecting his wishes. Call him white you was praising.
So let me get this straight. Telvin Osborne family want us black people to get online and support what happened to him. So it's our fault that his white girlfriend was cleaning her gun and mistakenly shot him. And now you want the black community to get behind because you think she really killed him. This man said that he would rather fuck a dog than sleep with a black woman. But you want us to help him? Maybe he need to go to the go somewhere and find a lot of dogs to help him, with this. Maybe y'all need to go find the dogs of America and help them, support y'all for this case. Because us black people, we ain't helping y'all. Go find the dogs, though, since he'd rather do that with a dog. Maybe the dogs will help y'all out. Because we not helping y'all tonight.
Child, I said it a couple weeks ago, and y'all was in my comments trying to tell me I was wrong. When I said that there is a huge, significant difference in the dynamic of interracial relationships when the spouses are a black man and a white woman versus a white man and a black woman. And y'all was like, you are so wrong, blah, blah, blah. And now this week, Telvin Osborne is a topic of discussion. Another black man who got on this internet and basically said how he didn't like black women, tried to tear us down, all this other stuff. I'm gonna pause for a second and just let y'all know. Any man who can't handle a black woman is a weak man. A very, very weak man. That being said, Telvin decided to get on the internet and praise the fact that he was with the woman that he was with. And now his family expects the same black people, black women, who he got on this internet, built a platform on disrespecting, disregarding. They expect us to care that much. One, we don't even know that man personally. And that aside, because I know we get up on the internet and rally for people we don't know all the time and to support our own, but like, why y'all not in an uproar? Where the other people at? The other people who was praising. Why y'all not in an uproar with them? If they talking about it, are they rallying together? Like, why y'all don't ask those people? Those people he loved so much and that loved him so much, allegedly. Why y'all don't ask them? Oh, all right. The truth of the matter is that the things that people do in interracial relationships and marriages say a lot about them as people. I would never, even though my husband is white, I would never get up on this internet and be like, oh no, black men suck, da 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 da. Because I don't believe that. I don't believe that. At all. Never have, never will. I just happened to fall in love with a man who wasn't black. At the end of the day, though, I'm not about to sit here and cry over somebody who didn't even like people who look like me. I pray for y'all, though.
This is a sad story, but what is truly sad is a man regardless of his race could think such nasty thoughts and then share them online. He did not consider how his words would be hurtful, and now he can never apologize for the hurt that he has caused.
If you were a black woman or girl on Twitter during 2011 to about like 2016 or 2017, you are entitled to financial compensation. When I tell you, you couldn't wake up without getting on that app and seeing something about a black woman, literally unprovoked. Like when I tell you we used to just catch strays on that app, you would catch strays. And don't let you be dark skinned on that. I'm loving this full circle moment of like when y'all try to reach a certain pinnacle or job or something happens and then people start pulling up your old tweets of you saying something about a black woman or you just saying something vulgar in general. I love to see it because I used to be on that app during these times. I just be like, there's no way that you would say this. Like, there's just no way. And I think apps like that have created this false sense of like, well, I'm not actually saying it. I'm tweeting it, like I'm posting it. So technically it's not coming out of my mouth. So I don't have to worry about the tongue being powerful, like people saying stuff like that. And then now you have situations where it's like this and it's coming back and it's biting y'all in that. And yes, I am referring to that young black man that was unalived by his white girlfriend or his blondie that he liked to refer to her as. To entertain this story a little bit, you mean to tell me you came home drunk from the club at 3 a.m. and your first instinct was to clean your muscatool? Child, she's gonna get away with it. Like, as crazy as the story sounds on her behalf, she's gonna get away with it. This is a tale literally as old as time. And y'all preferences don't prefer you. How many times do people have to tell y'all that? And your preference isn't gonna be the ones that rally behind you to get justice for you. Y'all sit up here, or the surviving family members will sit up here and say so much about the black community. What was he saying when he was alive? Like, why would you feel like that would be something that people should just forget? Now, I don't believe in disrespecting the dead or anything like that. In the same token, in like a situation like this, you can't possibly think that the same people that he disrespected while he was alive should be the ones that rally for him and fight behind him. No, go get his preference. And the sad reality that they fail to realize or don't care to realize is the fact that they know that their preference is not going to rally behind them the same way that a black woman would. And it's messed up because when you start to think about like the psychology of the thought, it's disgusting. And maybe these situations wouldn't end the way that they've been ending for y'all lately if y'all dated these women based off of love and not out of spite of getting back at black women for whatever reason. All in all, stay off the internet talking crazy and talking about black women, because when situations like this happen, it's very hard to sympathize with you.
So this is for women, and if you look like me, you can stay. Are y'all working with us? Because I see a trend. And if you are, I won't say nothing. It's not my business. I see a trend every time y'all, and then we go check them tweets. Is it a coinkydink, or are y'all, you know? I won't say nothing though. I won't say nothing. Y'all ain't have to go that far. But hey, you got it.
Saying that you would rather lay down with a dog than lay down with a black woman, and then that dog can only be a white dog, then to get put down like a dog by that white dog is just, that's what dreams is made of. That's the American dream. That's Picasso. That's chef's kiss, baby.
But what are your thoughts? Share them down in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.